Hello, good morning and welcome to our Tuesday edition of Nigerian Market. Nigerian Market is an online television that is always preaching economy. It's an advocacy program of AID. Of course, AID is an ambassador initiative for development and empowerment. We're here this morning with me. My name is Sleta, and with me is CSP. I call him Chibene Samuel Paul.
Yeah, good morning, viewers. Not the police here. We are
Yes,
always
I
just
know.
please call the full name so that we'll know.
That's why I'm calling it
Except you are
that.
taking me to be a police
No,
officer.
you're not.
Okay, all right, thank you. Chimene Samuel Paul.
All right, you're welcome to another edition, as I said earlier, and it's our pleasure to always come with you with information bordering on our economy, and we'll always continue to preach how we can, sustain this country called Nigeria economically. We are looking inward, and that is what we preach here. And you understand what the economy of our nation today stands at, and we've been government interventions here and there to see that the economy comes back to full light, and that's what we're going to discuss this morning. This morning we're going to look at sustainability of business post COVID-19, because now COVID-19 has gone. We're talking about variants, Delta variants, and all is still, but how have businesses surviving? How have businesses surviving under this condition is what we're going to try as much as possible to x-ray this morning. And with me this morning, as I said earlier, is by Edie. We're going to do our best to make an attempt to bring to you informations bordering on tax, bordering on sustainability, bordering on SMSEs. How are they surviving based on this condition? But before now, we understand that government has been, rolling out interventions to be able to sustain these businesses. But we're going to look definitely on the advantages. Is that not are going to survive? So if you are with us, and I will always appreciate you for taking your time listening to us, we ask that you can also make your contributions as we kickstart this discussion this morning. And as we do that, I think God's going to bless you. So once again, we were looking at, though we've been discussing about sustainability of over the whole of this month. And so today, before we round up for the month, I think we need to actually go deep, as we've earlier said, to be able to x-ray some of those interventions that are of benefits to our businesses, and how can we promote them and sustain them during this period of COVID-19. So from your view, what's your take as regards to this?
Okay. Once again, let me join you to welcome our viewers and thank you for always being here with us. Now, the month of August we have dealt so much on government interventions. Yeah, the reason is people don't believe government is doing anything. Like we said, when a child does something that is good, okay, you pat the child, and if he does what is also wrong, you discipline the child. So that's what we are just trying to say. It's easy to say government, 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 and then without looking at anything good from the government. That's one of the reasons we have to go deep into government interventions, and then looking at what government has been doing in trying to sustain, and then rebounds the economy. Okay, so that's what we'll be looking at. And today we'll look at that advantages. How are you taking the advantage? Because one of those things we discussed earlier, a lot of persons are not even aware. Okay, so this program is bringing those informations that you're not aware that government is doing this. So how will you take advantage? Well, all you hear people complain is that, oh, government is not doing this, oh, government is not doing that. In your own part, have you done? So that's why we're doing. But again, there's another thing I want us to know. The season is coming up. That's the ember month. And the rush, everything have to go and all that. How do we take due advantage of these available interventions?
Okay.
So that you can make maximal use of, okay, I'm looking at maybe you are a shoe, is it shoemaker or shoe coupler or shoe manufacturers, a manufacturer of shoe, and then you know that this season that is coming, a lot of persons will need shoe. and you are looking for money, government said we have interventions, for you. Then if you are into fashion, okay, you are looking for money to buy enough materials to sell, to do that, there's money for you. If you are into agriculture, is it rice production, is it spice or whatever, as we have always discussed here, there's still money for you. But the question is, are you aware first that you still have an opportunity where you can get? Now, let me tell you one thing. A lot of persons go to microfinance bank. Yes, they are all good, okay, but the interest you pay, when you collect a loan or facility from microfinance bank is far higher, than what you collect, you know, from government lending.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
it's less.
it's less. It's also the same thing. Some people just go to these private lenders and you take an outrageous
Interest rate.
interest rate, and that kills your business. Now, why go for those ones? Because you think it's easy. They'll tell you, okay, just come through. Now, what is easy is the shortcut, and the popular say that if you take shortcut, it cut you short. All right, so that's why they can give you in 48 hours or 24 hours, but the interest is something you can't bear. All right, so that's what looking at the one that can be less stressful, you understand, then your business will grow. And I will say it, what are those interventions that government has been offering us? When I mean us, everybody who is a Nigerian and you said you are doing business, whether it's SME or MSME, okay, which contributes into large, like 50% into the government GDP. And that's why I think the government is focusing on how they can stimulate these things post-COVID. And then with all the policies, we don't want to go back to the policies. Now, the previous editions will dwell so much on the fund itself, the facility itself. But again, the question now is, what about the preliminary foundation? That's talking about business registration, talking about task, talking about product certifications and all that. I think that's where we want to dwell today.
Okay, you've actually hit the nail on the head because I think that is where our viewers and given. So therefore, you're talking of your business first registered. It has a business name. It has all the legal processes that needed to be done for that business to have a look. So that even when government is putting money into that business, we know that they have the business is legally registered with the appropriate agency, and that is CAC. So if actually you are talking about intervention now, what are those hiccups that some persons may actually find out? Because those who were listening now said, I tried, I couldn't, and that's why I felt it was unnecessary. What are those positive hiccups that our viewers may begin to think were their challenges before they got their business registered?
All right, so I think challenges we list here, ease of doing business.
Okay.
Before now, we know how cumbersome it is, to register a business and a businessman. First, let me even say that many years ago, when we first came up as an organization, we were doing breast meat for young entrepreneurs.
Right.
And so we have this, discussions with a lot of them. Yeah, truth. Everybody wants money to enhance. If you go to Apo Mechanic Village, for instance, now, if you do that kind of this census now, take business census or something, and then you ask question on how do you think government can intervene, or before you say how do you think you can improve your business, let government come and give us money. That's for them. But I discovered that majority of those companies, even though when you see a business name,
Yeah.
for instance, Samuel and Sons,
Sons Limited.
that's just
Just the name.
Samisco.
It's
Samisco, that's just
there.
saying
It
it.
doesn't have any legal backing.
No, it has no legal backing. So we did that kind of this and I discovered, from the questionnaires, is your business registered? No. Do you have a bank detail? No. So that's a personal one man show. Okay, so we look at that. So these governments have done very well because when they first came, they were ranking, Nigeria was ranking, one of the most difficult nations or country where you can do business, in the world. And so with the ease of doing business policy, that has already brought down or broken these things, these hiccups you ask. You can just be in your room and then you do search and all that. So
and
you
the
just do
registrations of your business.
business registration, especially that business name.
When you say that, is that actually true? Would you actually come out to meet a debt officer?
Well, you don't need that. People just do it right now from the comfort of their homes because they will even send you the certificate online. So everything, you don't even need to go to CC. Okay, so that's in terms of business registration. Okay, so how easy it is that at least as an SME, you must have a business name. That's what the government have said. That qualifies you for whatever because a lot of persons complain, they have not. Now, another thing again that we need to also do, probably just to gloss through it, and by Thursday we go detail and get somebody to talk about that, is tax. Now, it's mandatory for every Nigerian, every citizen to pay tax. Once you are 18 years and you are working, you pay tax. Before we came in, we are remembering for those who were in Onitsha, those days where you're passing and then the tax officers will grab and then they just grab your leg and and all that. So they grab your leg. Before you know, somebody is holding you here and there to pay your tax. So it has just been normal thing. But because we don't have enough, that's business people now don't take tax doesn't cost you anything. And then the government policy says if your turnover as an SME, what are you paying? If your turnover is not up to 25 million, okay, there are certain things like the VAT thing, value added tax, you don't pay. Okay, but do you ever go to follow up on these things? It's an easy thing, I tell you. It's an easy thing.
Before you round up, I want to actually feel the pulse of Nigerians. Nigerians will have to say, "I have not eaten. You're asking me to come and pay tax." And that is the view of people. But then they get to understand that there's need for us to be informed.
No, but because you don't pay tax if you are doing the right thing. Just go to their office. That's what we want to bring up.
Okay, I'm
yes.
Informed.
Since you have a business, okay, one thing that is mandatory is for you to go to their office. All right. When in August, your tax, the VAT payment for July, you will take it on or before 21st of August. So you just go there, take form and fill that form. That's all you need to do.
Okay, because of our time, you have also said they should go to the office. I want to suggest that there's need for all these tax offices to be very simple, trace accessible, because you don't expect someone in the village to come to Abuja or within the local government.
You have tax office all over the state.
I think those people need to understand that you may go to your local government, which is the nearest place to wherever you live, and be able to get information about how your tax needs to be paid. And if you are above 18 years, what the information will be given to you so that you get this clearance and don't get involved with tax invaders and all that. So, but then our concern this morning is understanding that we need to do business, we need to register our business, and as we register our business, we also need to pay tax, and that tax is what government uses to develop infrastructures for us and to sustain our economy. So, but then we will expect that in our next edition, we'll bring some experts that are going to give us more insight on how this tax can be paid and what benefits as individual we're going to gain from this tax so that we can continue to sustain businesses, because if businesses are not sustained, despite what we are passing through now, our economy will definitely continue to see the other bad side of it. So we want to continue to encourage our viewers, Nigerian market, that you should hold up and continue to listen to our program and see what you can get and information that we can be able to share with you to grow your business and sustain yourself economically.
Before we go, I said let people also come. We are here. That's why we are giving out this thing, so that we can guide you properly. In case you don't know, or you go to, we have tax consultant. Okay, don't be afraid. You can connect us. We will give you a lot of those guides and then link you to the right people who will, so that we can unbundle these things. Because when people are not, everybody is complaining about the government. Let's take advantage of the one government is doing. Okay? Let's take advantage.
All right. Nigerian market can liaise with all the necessary agencies to help you get out of this issue. So we want to continue to encourage you to listen to our program or view and make comments, engage our pages and like it in our social media handles. It's out there. The links are on the screen so that you can always make your contributions. And as we say, we'll continue in our next edition. It will be more robust and it will be encompassed so that we get more hands to talk more on this topic. Once again, we want to thank you for taking your time listening and giving us your view. And before we leave, as we said, sustaining businesses during this COVID-19 period is a topic I will continue in the next edition. My name is Letta, and as usual, Chairman Paul Samuel is here. So we want to say thank you. And before we leave, we always continue to say bye.
No, before they buy Nigeria, COVID-19, we say, please, let's be safe, because once you are safe, we can't sell Nigerian products. Okay, so
it's
please,
very necessary. It's very necessary.
Simple thing: wash your hands. Mask yourself with your face mask. And then if you feel feverish, like they say, please stay away from work and then go to hospital, all that. But the most important thing, we have water now. This is even rainy season. So let's wash our hands very well with just soap. And then, stay away, just meters away and all that. So let's stay safe so that we can be alive to talk about Nigeria economy and Nigerian market. So thank you for joining us on this Tuesday edition. Yeah.
So once again, we'll say
buy Nigeria to grow Nigeria.